Video games saved my life. No, too hyperbolic. Okay. One particular video game saved my life. No, that's not that. Okay. One particular video game has unabashedly changed my life, and it's about body slamming a leotard-clad kaiju-sized dragon with my abs of steel. Abs of soft clay? You know, they're abs of mostly uncooked chicken, and I'm okay with that. Anyway, Ring Fit Adventure is my favorite game on the Switch. And I admit, that's a tall order. Super Mario Odyssey is on the Switch, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom, Metroid Dread, Smash Bros. Ultimate. I am a man of refined tastes, according to cited sources, so why? Why this weird little exercise game full of bad fitness puns and a leg strap that has a hard time actually staying on my leg? Because Ring Fit Adventure did something none of the others were able to. I've never been big into fitness, sports, anything like that. I was usually the last one picked for gym teams in school. I wasn't an MVP in my Pee Wee sports, let alone much of a VP. And my genetic seasonal allergies and asthma kinda turned me off to the whole physical activity thing. But dang it, I tried. I was the star DDR player of my friend group, but those stages were always over too quickly. I was on the Wii Fit train for a while, but it was a losing battle. When you're putting in the effort, there's only so many times you can watch your me balloon as veryfat.mp3 plays over your obese categorized BMI. But then, only a few months before the world started locking down, from the heavens there descended this cool plastic ring, and a promise to be different than what came before. The setup for Ring Fit Adventure is intentionally simple. Your avatar encounters Ring, the game manifestation of the Ring controller, and teams up with them to stop the toxic Drago from, making exercise bad? Look, it's been a while since I played the intro, but the plot isn't really the important part. Once you enter a stage, you move ahead by jogging. You point the ring con at the floor and push to propel yourself upward. You squat down to launch off of springboards. Monsters dot the path, forcing players to use various exercise drills to deal damage to them in RPG-style combat. Experience allows players to branch out a skill tree. Money allows them to buy new outfits and smoothie ingredients, all to make sure you're in tip-top shape to take on Drago and anything else standing in your way. Players are able to adjust the game's difficulty on a 30-point scale, finding where they're comfortably challenged and notching it up when it becomes just comfortable. They can customize their battle exercises based on what they want to concentrate on, or to avoid a drill that doesn't agree with their body type or abilities. It individualizes the process. Fundamentally, Ring Fit Adventure is a completely different experience than Wii Fit or any other active video game I'd known up to that point. It combined simple RPG mechanics like attacking, defending, and potions into gameplay that necessitated exercise to continue. And it wasn't like a jogging game in Wii Fit where I could flip the TV input to something else and simply run in place. Ring Fit Adventure threw obstacles in your way, enemies that you needed to confront, and you couldn't adapt to them if you weren't watching. Ring Fit Adventure was the shift into full concentration on the exercise I was doing. Exercise wasn't just the mechanic. Exercise was the game. And games, even an active one like Ring Fit Adventure, excel at motivation. Intrinsically, some players might be able to justify working out based on the short and long-term feel-good benefits. But extrinsically, players are suckers for progress. We want to make progress on this simple story. We want to play the game by the rules and exercise accordingly. As a result, we want to make it to the next world. We want to unlock new exercises. We want to move forward. More than anything, it makes players want to come back. Consider this. People who are motivated both learn better and remember more of what they've learned. Whether that motivation is in reaching a certain number of calories burnt in a session, exercising for a set amount of time, progressing some amount in the overworld map, players in Ring Fit Adventure are constantly pushed in a forward momentum. The game is made up of performance approach goals at every turn. Goals that focus on positive outcomes of competition, like outperforming others. Ring Fit Adventure puts players in conflict with any number of monsters or opponents that can only be defeated by exercise, by narratively and mechanically outperforming all of them. Ring Fit Adventure tells you how many calories you burned in a stage or a session. On the surface, that sounds similar to Wii Fit. But Wii Fit was in pursuit of a weight loss goal, tracking your progress day to day. Ring Fit Adventure does it to lend gravity to how much work you put in each day. Once you finish that session, the calorie data is just filed away in your exercise log. It was never about the calories burned and BMI. Ring Fit Adventure tracks my efforts and teaches me to build new habits. I get little confetti parties after doing so many exercises or making progress in the story. I get new nicknames and titles when I do so many drills. It encourages you to stretch before and after each session. It gives you props no matter how much you did or how hard you went. It didn't log how much I weighed, but instead kept track of my reps, my exercise, my efforts. I used to hate exercise because I felt like the goals I laid out would always come up short, that my me would never not be categorized as obese. Ring Fit Adventure made me love exercise. It made exercise about feeling good about myself and about my efforts. That I was doing something, not necessarily for a future goal, but for the here and now. That's why it stands out. I already loved Mario and Zelda and Metroid and Smash Bros, and then they were on the Switch. But Ring Fit Adventure got me to love something I had never loved before. And that is why it's my favorite game on the Nintendo Switch.